When I think about the wonderful things that have happened here in the Diocese of Florida and that I've been so fortunate to be a part of, I begin with thanksgiving. I begin with thanksgiving for all of the good people who care about this church, who have given so generously to make wonderful things happen for our children, for our young people, who've given generously to improve Camp Weed and our Servant Conference Center, who've given so generously to support the beginning of new churches in the diocese, who've given so generously in many other ways to help achieve our vision for a living, vital, and transformational diocese. In this diocese now, we are practicing what it means to give for the sake of others, to give for the sake of the church, to give in order that the message of Jesus Christ may be shared with the whole world, and that through that message and through the evidence of its meaning in your life and mine, that others will come to know and love Him and to be a part of this wonderful church that we call the Episcopal Diocese of Florida.
I think the thing that has really drawn me into this is the bishop's vision of growing the church, of being like first century Christians, where we go out and we're growing the church, we're have a spirit of an evangelical spirit that says we're not willing to just stand pat. We're not willing to just stay as we are.
Bishop's Institute, we use a lot of local clergy as our tutors, our teachers and instructors, and some very qualified lay teachers as well. It's promoting what we do and getting more and more people to really get out there and enthuse people about these splendid programs that we're putting on. I have a lot of aspirations for the Bishop's Institute and for the future of education in this diocese.
Well, I can't imagine a diocese without a camp. And I know that through our research, there are many dioceses who do not or are getting rid of camps. And the reason is, of course, finances. Camp Weed is a vital part of the diocese. We have to have the finances to maintain it. And you can only do that by, in my opinion, an endowment big enough to take the pressure off of the annual budget. To me, Camp Weed is just a wonderful way for our churches to support this vital mission that we have.
People always say that youth are the future of our church, but I think more and more people are starting to realize that the youth are our church. And if we want to see our church grow, if we want to see our church become a better place, our world become a better place, then that is starting here at Camp Weed. Creating very faithful youth who can go back to their churches, their schools, their communities and make a difference. But it's also creating a lot of leaders in our youth who can go back. We would really appreciate if donors could just help us build those ministries by investing in maybe our facilities, which will help us grow our programs, be able to accommodate more of these youth so that we can hire more staff to make more of an impact, so that we can just do bigger and better things to make a bigger and better impact on our church, our community, and our world.
My father was the Reverend Arthur Stanley Bullock. When Daddy passed in 2008, the foundation got together, their board of directors got together and decided that it would be their pleasure to give a gift that was to be used in a charitable kind of way, a way that Dad would have wanted it used. So we sat around and talked and thought about ways that it would best be used. And we decided that the best thing to do was to keep that tradition going of going to camp, helping kids like he had been helped to go to camp. And so we established the Bullock Scholarship Fund for Camp Weed. The scholarship allows children to go. And the more that we build that scholarship, the more children will be allowed to go. And what's more beautiful than that, right?
In this ministry, my main focus is reaching people. I'm trying to figure out how to draw them into our properties so that they have a warm feeling toward the way in which the Episcopal Church loves them. I'm trying to go out onto campus and meet them in ways that surprise them and engage with them in a way we're frequently told, wow, you're the only people out here who meet us on our terms. This summer, bringing someone to help and have a full focus on discipleship has brought growth to this ministry and depth among students and energy to this place where I'd very much like more. And not just like more for me, but I'd like more to be something that helps and equips and trains people in this region to disciple students, because I'm going to need more people than what this particular ministry is currently producing.
Well, welcome to St. Mary's Episcopal Church of Jacksonville, located in Springfield, just north of downtown. The food pantry is central. It's the central part of our ministry. We used to do other things, but the focus is on food, tending to the body and to the soul. Other programs in the area are shrinking and resources are diminishing, and so we want to expand food. We feel like it was the right choice to say that's the heart of ministry. A significant contribution would have immediate impact in that we would be staffed well to hit the ground running and expand our programs and prepare our facilities to receive both volunteers as well as the people that we serve. Urban ministry isn't just on St. Mary's campus. We have street ministry with Church Without Walls, as well as participating in some of our community agencies like Sulzbacher Center. So the sky is the limit.
Florida is really in the forefront nationally in trying to meet the needs of people who can't afford health care and who aren't eligible for governmental assistance. In March of 2016, we opened our first clinic. The Shepherd's Hands of the Swanee Valley Free Clinic is able to have a patient come in, have their eligibility for services determined, have an initial medical workup, including labs, if necessary, x-rays, and to actually see a practitioner, and leave with a treatment plan for that day. We're very grateful for the donations that we receive.
One of the reasons that I came to this diocese at this point in time is that I saw a man, I see a diocese, and I see a vision that's forward-looking. That the future promise, which is what we have in Christ, is better than the past. When Bishop Howard first spoke with me, he gave me one statement. He said, I want to introduce people to Christ. I want them to know Christ and to be known by Christ and to love the Lord, whatever it takes to make that happen. With the appropriate resources, what we could do is hire, bring in, train, attract not only clergy leadership, but lay leaders who are on fire or have ideas about what they may do, but take money. It takes money to plant a church. It takes a significant amount of money to plant a church. It takes investment, it takes planning. What I would do would be to apply that to the mission field.
My friends and colleagues and I have spoken with you about the many ways in which your generosity is being used to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and to build our church, about camps, conference centers, inner city ministries, rural health care, about training better teachers and preachers and planting new churches in the diocese. But please remember this as you reflect on what you have heard and seen in this film today. Remember this, it's all about bringing individuals, the solitary man, woman, child kneeling in prayer, bringing that individual closer to Jesus Christ, about building relationships with the people who are our neighbors, whom we may not even know and who may not go to our church yet, about building relationships in our schools and homes and workplaces. And most importantly of all, is about building our relationship with God, coming closer to Him through Jesus Christ, evangelizing, sharing the good news with others, and then growing our church. Growing our church so that from our smallest congregation to our largest, we may do an even greater job of sharing the love of God with others.